Welcome to Corey's Conscious Living. Hi guys, do you want to be in the cat club? Do you know what the cat club is? Heidi, Cherry and Vaya have an exclusive club for members to come and join. It's $7 a month. Every 7th of the month you get 3 exclusive Heidi, Cherry and Vaya stories that only you get to listen to. No one else that's not in the club gets to get these stories, so they're very special. If you want to know more about it, get a guardian or your mum and dad to help you to look at the link below the video to check out the cat club. Namaste, my little friend. Enjoy your story. Are you ready to meditate with Corey? Are you ready to get super comfortable in your soft bed? Pull up the sheets. Make sure that everything is just right in your room so that you can stay quiet and still as you listen to the story. Heidi, Cherry, and Vaya were almost done with the treehouse. I mean, literally, they had one piece of wood that they had to put on the side, and then it was complete. It was the 3rd weekend they had worked so hard on this treehouse. Reese, Emmy, Jaden, and Savannah, Claire, and Elsa were all there this weekend helping. They were the lucky kids because they got to see the final part done. Heidi said, maybe tomorrow we'll have a giant party and we'll invite everyone over that helped us, and we'll let Mr. and Mrs. Lewowski come. We'll tell the fish about it. We'll tell all of the kids, all of the dogs, everyone, to just come over and hang out with us. Do you think that would be nice? Cherry said, oh yeah, I love that idea. But let's not jump ahead, right? Let's not jump ahead. Because right now we have one piece of wood left. I'm just so excited. I'm so invigorated. I'm so excruciatedly happy that I just don't know what to do with myself and Reese and Amy. Oh, I'm so glad you guys are here. Jaden and Savannah, we love you guys. I'm so glad that you could come today. You're such a cute brother and sister. And then Claire and Elsa. Oh, you guys are just the best. You really helped today, and it's been such a hard day and it's been so long. And just having one piece of wood left feels really redonkulous. Vaya said, I know, right? But it's been so much fun. And I think we should just do it. Put the wood on, and then Reese and Emmy and Jaden and Savannah and Claire and Elsa can all play with us today. And we can have like a special day alone where we play on the treehouse. Cherry said, good idea, Batman. Good idea. All right, give me the nail. Heidi passed her a nail. She already had a hammer in her hand. Cherry put the last piece of wood on the side of the treehouse, and everyone cheered. Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray! Our treehouse is done! Yay! Everyone went wild. They ran up the steps, they came down the fireman's pole, they sat at the top where they could see far and wide. It was like a lookout. And then the top ceiling was perfect because it made these awesome like rippling sounds in the wind. And if you laid down on the ground and closed your eyes, it felt like you were at the ocean because the ripply sounds sound like waves. Oh, it was just perfect. There was a tiny bookshelf where people could sit and just chill out together and read if they wanted to, which was awesome. Heidi was very happy with that. But I think the star of the show was definitely the fireman's pole. because it was so much fun. You had to go down the pole, land at the bottom. Luckily, the ground and the grass was super soft and squishy, so you didn't hurt your tush. And then you would get up, and then you would run around the garden, and then you would run back up the stairs on the other side of the treehouse, and then you would go down the pole all over again. And because the treehouse was really, really, really tall, there was lots of steps, and there was a decent lengthed pole, which means you weren't just on the pole for like a second and then you were done. It was like maybe 3 seconds you were sliding down the pole, and it was super, super fun. Cherry went down the pole. After going down the pole 5 times, everyone was just taking turns, running around, screaming, laughing, playing on the garden as well as in the treehouse. But on this particular time, Cherry went down the pole. As she went down the pole, time seemed to stop still, and she heard this really funny crackling sound in her ears. Like it was like a crackling, but at the same time it was like like a hum or a ha sound, but it was all crackly. She heard it. Time stopped still, and it felt like she was going down the fireman's pole forever and ever. Like she was just going down and down, and it was really fun. It wasn't scary or anything, but she kept going down and down and down. And at one point, she just closed her eyes and put her head back and just went with the motion of feeling like she was falling down deeper and deeper and deeper. And then while she had her eyes closed, all of a sudden, her tush hit the grass. She opened her eyes, and she wasn't on Mr. and Mrs. Lewowski's garden. There was no one else there. No sounds of everyone laughing. It was completely silent. And when she looked around, it was like she'd landed in a place that was made of like toys or Lego or building blocks. It looked like she'd visited Legoland or something, but everything was made out of a toy. Like she was in Toy Town. Yeah, that was it, she thought. It looks like I'm in Toy Town, she said out loud. There were big, giant buildings. There was a park that she could see, where all the swings and the slide, everything that you would see in a park looked giant size, like you could play on it, but everything seemed to be made out of toys, like building blocks or Legos or those wooden blocks that you can play with. The buildings, the skyscrapers, were absolutely enormous, like people could actually live in them. But when she squinted her eyes, she could see really clearly that they were made out of Lego. The first thing she did was got off the pole. She stood up and ran over to where the park was. She thought, no, this is not real. But when she got to the park, it was very, very real. OMG! OMG! I'm in Toy Town! I really am in Toy Town! She was climbing up the back of the slide, and then she slid down the slide, and it felt exactly like a slide, and it worked exactly the same as a slide, and her tushy slid really fast like it would on a slide, except she felt these little bumps because she could feel the grooves of where the Lego had joined each other. Didn't hurt her tush, but she could feel it. It was definitely Lego. OMG, oh my goodness gracious me, this is so bizarre. It's so strange. Where is everyone? Why am I here alone? How did I get here? How long am I going to be here? Oh my gosh, am I going to get stuck here forever alone? Why am I here? What did I do wrong? Did I do something wrong? Am I being punished? Oh no, where's my treehouse? Millions of different thoughts kept running through Cherry's head. She was in a complete panic at one point. "I want me mum! Oh no! Heidi!" she shouted. "Vaya!" she shouted. Obviously, no one heard her. She was getting to the point where she didn't know what to do, and because she didn't know what to do, she just sat down and kind of froze because she remembered that one time when she went to a theme park with Mum and Dad and Vaya and Heidi, Mum and Dad said, if anyone gets lost, you stay where you are. Just stay where you are. And that way, we will retrace our steps and come and find you. If you're running around all over the place, people can't find you. So stay where you are. Cherry just instinctively fell to the ground, wrapped her front paws around her knees, and sat there. Thank goodness. Thank golly goodness. It didn't take too long before all of a sudden she heard a thud, and then another thud, and then a thud, thud, thud. Jaden and Savannah, Claire and Elsa had all fell out of nowhere and landed at the bottom of the pole. Jaden said, "Whoa! Cool! It's Toyland!" Savannah said, "What's Toyland?" Claire and Elsa said, "Everything's made out of Lego! This is so cool!" Started frantically running around, and then they spotted Cherry. "Cherry, what you doing here?" Cherry said, "Oh my gosh, I was so scared. I thought I was going to be here on my own forever and ever in a million years, and I would just be like sat here waiting. Mum and Dad said to just sit still and wait, and I did, and it worked. Oh golly gosh, thank goodness. Oh, where's Vaya and Heidi and Reese and Emmy? Where are they? Where are they?" And then just as she said that, thud, 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 thud. 4 different thuds fell out of nowhere, and there they were, on the ground, on the tushes, landed just like everyone else had. Heidi said, "Oh, there you are. We couldn't find you. We were looking all over the garden, Cherry, and you just seemed to just disappear." Cherry said, "Oh, Heidi, this means we've all disappeared. What we're going to do?" Heidi said, "Don't worry. Let's figure out what happened. Did anyone else hear like a crackly sound and then like a ah?" Everyone raised their hand. Everyone heard the same crackle sound and the ah, like a buzzing ah sound in their ear. And then all of a sudden they were in Toy Town. Vaya said, "Oh my goodness. Ommi just loves the idea of Toy Town. Everything's going to be a toy." Cherry said, "Yeah, I know, how fantastic. But then I freaked out and sat down and got scared. But now that everyone's here, maybe we can explore and we can look around. I really want to go in that high-rise building because I bet everything's made out of toys." Heidi said, "Let's have a plan. Let's stick together." Reese said, "Good idea." Emmy said, Yeah, really good idea. Let's not get lost." They all ran towards the high-rise building. Everything was made from blocks. They went into what looked like somebody's apartment. There was furniture in there, all made out of blocks. There was like toys, obviously, it was Toy Town. Toys galore. There was teddies, there were stuffies, there were like soldiers, like toy soldiers. There were Barbie dolls. There were every single kind of doll. Every single kind of doll. There were toys that you play with for games. There were word puzzles. There were card games. There were like board games. There were everything. Every toy that you could think of was like there in Toy Town. And you could get completely distracted. There were video games. There were Xboxes. There were Nintendos. Whatever your pleasure was, it was just right here in Toy Town. The thing that Cherry was most impressed with was the toilet. Can you believe it? The toilet flushed. But when you sat on the seat, it was clearly Lego. The whole toilet was made of Lego. And the flush was made of Lego. And yet the toilet worked. I can pee on this, and it actually works, she said. She couldn't get over it. OMG, I'm just going to stay here for a bit, maybe have a bath. The bath is real. Well, it's not real, it's made of Lego, but it's like you can get in the bath. They even have like fancy bath bombs. OMG. I'm staying here. I'm just going to have a really nice bath and maybe go to the toilet once or twice. Everyone kind of dispersed in the big, tall, high-rise building. They stayed in the building so they were all in the same place, but they all went in different directions. They all went in different looking apartments, and every different apartment in this one high-rise building. And yet, I must say, if you looked out of the window, there were that many high-rise buildings that you couldn't count. So gosh knows how many toy rooms there were and how many different places you could play here. It was uncountable. Because just in this one high-rise building, every room that looked like an apartment that they went in had a different theme. So it was different toys. Some were clearly like princess rooms, very, very girly kind of places to play. And some were like definitely more boy rooms where they had like survival toys and building block toys and DIY pretend drills and all those kind of things. Of course, these rooms were designed for boys or girls. It didn't matter. But the themes of the rooms were very different. That's my point. It was like you could never be bored. You could never run out of things to play with. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine how Elsa and Claire were feeling right now? Can you imagine how Jaden and Savannah and Emmy and Reese were feeling right now? Can you imagine what the cats were doing right now? What would you do right now? That's my question. They were so much fun things to do. Hours and hours and hours passed, and it felt like they'd only been there 5 minutes. Toy Town had a very weird feeling about time, like you could just be there forever and you'd feel like you just went there for the day. There was so much to do. You would literally never run out of fun. How cool is that? The cats and the kids played and played and played until, thank goodness, they all at the same time heard a crackle and a ah sound in their ear. It was their left ear. They all heard it. The kids all lifted their hands up to their ears. The cats lifted their paw up to their ears. And then all of a sudden, every one of them found themselves back in Mr. and Mrs. Lewowski's back garden. Right there, as if they'd all just gone down the fireman's pole. They all looked at each other as if to say, "What just happened?" All of them, in sync, without even trying or practicing, opened their mouths and said, OMG. They couldn't wait for tomorrow. They couldn't wait for the party. They couldn't wait to see if anyone else landed magically in Toy Town, or whether it was something that just happened to them that day. They couldn't wait to share it with all the friends that had built the treehouse. They could not wait. It was really difficult to go to sleep that night. Really, really. It was like worse than Christmas. You know, like Christmas Eve or on different holidays where you're super excited. It's just like that. The cats decided that they were going to listen to one of Corey's sleep relaxing meditations. It wasn't a time to have fun. It was a time to relax, because as soon as they fell asleep, the sooner they could wake up, and the sooner their friends would come over and they could maybe go to Toy Town again. Did they go to Toy Town again? Will they ever get there again? We'll have to wait and see. But for now, the cats snuggled down in their bed. They pressed play and started to listen to their sleep time meditation. It took a while, but they eventually all relaxed and fell fast asleep. The end.